Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the Hopkinton High School turf fields for Hopkinton Hiller softball on HCAM. Tom Nappy alongside Morgan Donahue on the call as the second-seeded Hopkinton Hillers take on seventh-seeded Westwood Wolverines in this round of 8 game. And Morgan, glad you could join us for the broadcast, a little rivalry broadcast we got going on here.
Got a few of those this year.
But two great softball teams, two TVL rivals, and they are meeting up here today.
Don't get better than this, Tom. You know, a trip to the Final Four on the line in a game versus a TVL rival, you know, that is what you dream of. Two teams that certainly have a lot of respect for each other. And leading off for the Wolverines, Sasha Marino, the shortstop.
Yes. And we apologize, folks. We were initially planning to have a little pregame show, but the rain caused some complications with that. So we'll just get right into the game.
Absolutely.
As we are underway, Addie Walls delivering a strike. 1-1 is the count.
Nice pitch there by Addie. Sasha, a great hitter for the Wolverines. She's actually going to be playing hockey next year, Tom, at Assumption University. Gets a piece of that one.
And, of course, the winner of this game, as the count's 1-2, will head to the Final Four.
Incredible.
So a lot on the line here today, Morgan.
Yes. Which I'd imagine, Tom, you are going to be wherever that game will be.
Absolutely, as Marino delivers a ball there, 2-2.
Done a great job, Tom, covering on even just non-Hopkinton teams that have making deep runs in the playoffs. And it's been fantastic to see.
And that is popped up, and it's in foul territory and caught by Callery for the out, one away. Well,
nice pitch there. She got a little bit of a off-speed pitch. Marino head on that one, popped it up. Nice play there by Callery, get the first out.
And as I always say, Morgan, the way to get to this level is really you got to have good pitching, and both these teams with some great pitching. As at the plate now, we have Abby Johnson.
Abby Johnson, a junior captain for the Wolverines. The other three captains are seniors. But Abby, great sure-handed third base for your Wolverines. Also one of my neighbors in a neighborhood in the Westwood called the Maze. There's a couple girls on the team in the same neighborhood. So we're very prideful of our area in Westwood, just across from the high school.
It's fouled away, as you should be. And congratulations, by the way, your girls' lacrosse team.
Yes, thank you.
Heading to the Final Four.
Oh, exciting game. It was a 6-5 game, believe it or not, Tom, where, you know, lacrosse, you think a lot of goals. It was a defensive battle, and it came down to the very end. Westwood got the ball late in the game, and they closed it out in dramatic fashion.
1-2 pitch, and just a little low.
So I got the opportunity to see Addie Walls warming up as I was looking to get the lineups. She was dialed in, and, you know, my gosh, that ball was humming. She really has got some velocity on that fastball.
She certainly does, as that one is just tipped foul. 2-2. And I'm just filling in my lineup now, Morgan. So I'm glad you were able to get down there and grab them.
Yes.
Had a little bit of a technical glitch. It was absolutely pouring
yes.
as we were setting up. And we do got the tent out today. Swing and a miss. There's out number 2.
So something you're going to see today is both pitchers are strikeout pitchers. We saw some milestones in the last week and a half. So I believe Addie Walls was at 300 career strikeouts in her early career. And then Bridget Mulkeen in her last game, 800th career strikeout. Just a remarkable accomplishment for the senior pitcher.
And that pitch hits Izzy Walsh, so she will trot down to first base. And Westwood has a runner aboard with 2 outs. Bridget Mulkeen coming to the plate.
So Bridget, when the Wolverines played Hopkinton earlier this year, the bats were a little quiet. However, Bridget Mulkeen, I think, had a few hits, and they were extra base hits. So keep an eye on her. She can hit the ball a long way, and she's always getting some good line drives out there.
Yeah.
It's a good cut.
a nice .559 batting average.
Unbelievable.
That's got to be one of the leading.
Makes Ted Williams, 408 or 407, whatever that is, look, minuscule.
Well, I'll tell you, the matchup at the plate you got to look out for: Holly Paharik with that .579.
Yes, yeah.
And Bridget Mulkey with that .559.
Two of the best. I think checking on first. So keep an eye on Addie Walls. She gets a lot of attention on the base pass. She can certainly steal. She'll take big leads too, just to see if it draws a run, or draws a throw, but very active on the base path.
Yeah, I think you'll see a lot of trying to manufacture runs on both sides.
Sure.
Because we certainly know how effective these pitchers are, and they're going to have to find some unique ways to score some runs.
Can win you games. Checking in again. And good, this is what you want to see on either team is force some throws. That ball might go in the outfield. You get to second, you have a runner in scoring position with a good hitter up at the plate. So, these are where you see games like this as chess matches, trying to see who's going to make the first mistake.
3-1 pitch, fouled into the backstop, full count. And we'll take you through the Westwood lineup in just a bit as we are set for the full count pitch.
That's
and
a
this is hit a mile towards center field, and that is gone.
Over everything. It went over the staging fence and the permanent fence for the 2-run home run. Bridget Mulkeen and hit a home run in her last game. It was her 100th career hit, a 2-run home run. And then back-to-back games for 2-run home runs. Great way to set the tone for Mulkeen.
Well, if you're Westwood, that is the way you wanted to start. A 2-run blast for Bridget Mulkeen, and that'll bring up Amelia O'Neill.
Yep.
And for Mulkeen, that's her 4th home run of the season.
Yes. That was a bomb. That was in the woods, right by the scoreboard.
And it's rare to see one of those given up by Addie Walls, but if anyone could do it,
well,
it's certainly Mulkeen.
Addie's got so much velocity on that fastball. If you get a good piece of that bat, it's going to come off the bat pretty hard. So Mulkeen, just as I mentioned, she's a great hitter. I mean, I could see her hitting in college.
And that's tipped foul. Let's run through the Westwood lineup real quickly. Sasha Marino, the shortstop, led things off. Abby Johnson, third baseman, hit second. Izzy Walsh, the catcher, hitting third. Bridget Mulkeen just hit that nice 2-run blast. She's hitting cleanup and is the pitcher. Amelia O'Neill, right fielder, hitting fifth, as this is lined into right field, and that's going to be a base hit. And the throw to first nearly got her, but she beats it out.
That was a great hit by Amelia O'Neill. Comes from a very talented athletic family. I believe her mom played softball at Providence, and a great hit there for one of the senior captains. She's playing in the outfield today.
So that'll bring up Eve Clinton, the first baseman, who's hitting sixth. Then you got Brooke Benger, second baseman, hitting seventh. Bella Gentile, the DH, hitting eighth. And Julia Raffoni, the center fielder, hitting ninth. And Mia French is the left fielder and the flex. Lined up and the pitch. And this is hit in the air to center field. A nice catch there. And that will wrap up the top of the first. But Westwood plates a pair. A big 2-run blast by Bridget Mulkeen, and the Wolverines have a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first on HCAM. Bottom of the first inning, Westwood with a 2-0 lead. A 2-run blast by Bridget Mulkeen. And stepping...
A big cut by Addie Walls. Tom, when I did the game earlier this year with Denise, I think Addie Walls went 4 for 4 or 5 for 5. Very impressive hitter for the Hoptown pitcher.
Yeah, she has been great at the plate this season. In addition to her greatness on the mound, a .436 batting average, .484 on base percentage, 15 RBIs, and 13 runs in the regular season to her credit.
And only a sophomore. Incredible. Just getting started.
0-2 the count. Bridget Mulkeen, she has had quite a season, a 1.65 ERA, 15 wins, 4 losses on the hill. As that's fouled away, look out.
She got a good piece of that one. She was ahead of that one. Timed it well.
Well, I'm not expecting that much of an offensive game with this great pitching, but who knows? These two lineups.
They have some good bats. You know, they have some good bats. I think Hopkinton put up 11 or 12 runs in the first game.
And this is going to be a trickler up the middle, grabbed by the shortstop, throw to first. They get the out. 6-3 for out number 1. And that is going to bring up Zoe Levine.
Yeah, so some sure hands there by Sasha Marino. We were joking around when we were covering the game last year, Tom Leiden and myself, and we said, when you look at the shortstops here in the TVL for softball, it reminds me of 99 baseball. You got Nomar, you got Tejada, you got Jeter, and you have that in the TVL when you got Paharik and Marino and, you know, the additional shortstops in the league.
And there's a strike. Zoe Levine has had a great season at the plate, a very good postseason as well. More on that in just a moment.
Levine playing left field today.
That pitch just low, 1-1. Well, Levine, a .350 batting average, .494 on base percentage, 17 RBIs, 30 runs to her credit.
That's a heck of a season right there. Getting on base and scoring a bunch. That's why they got her up in the 2 spot.
And takes that one low. And in the game against Marblehead this past Wednesday, she had a nice triple in the 6th inning. Went 2 for 4 in that game. And she's been very good with the bat as of late. 3-1 count now. Set to deliver is Mulkeen. And there's a strike.
Nice battle back there to get the full count.
I think one of the things that makes these lineups both so effective is they both can battle.
Yeah. And they got patience too. They'll force pitchers to throw extra pitches.
And that's fouled away.
Nice cut.
Yeah, it seems any opponent of these teams, they're going to throw a lot of pitches that game and really have to battle each and every hitter.
I remember asking for the first time when I started covering some of the softball games, I go, so who else pitches besides Bridget? Like, who comes in, you know, for relief? Who pitches the other games? And they go, she pitches every single inning. I think she pitched every single inning except once. I think she might have had like an injury, a minimal injury where they had someone else pitch for an inning, but.
And this is hit in the air right side and caught in shallow right field by the second baseman. 2 away, and that'll bring up Charlotte Holden.
Nice play there by Brooke Benger, freshman. 3 freshmen on the Wolverines on the field right now. You got French, Clinton, and Benger.
Let's take you through the Hillers lineup. Addie Walls led things off. She's the pitcher today. Zoe Levine just flew out. She's hitting second and is the left fielder. Charlotte Holden, first baseman, hitting third, takes that one low. Holly Paharik, shortstop, hitting cleanup. Ashley Callery, third baseman, hitting fifth. Caroline Osmond, catcher, hitting sixth. Zoe Adams, designated player, hitting seventh. Ava Davenport, second baseman, hitting eighth. Ashley Callery is the center fielder, hitting ninth. And the count now 2-0. Cami Trendle, the flex, playing right field today for the Hillers. Wind up and the pitch. There's a strike, 2-1. Morgan, why don't you take us through the Westwood defense?
Yeah, so the Westwood defense at first base, Eve Clinton. Second base, Brooke Benger. Shortstop, Sasha Marino. Third base, Abby Johnson. And then in the outfield, Amelia O'Neill left field. Julia Verfroni in center field. And then right field is Mia French. Or left field is Mia French and Amelia O'Neill in right field.
2-2 now.
Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
And that one low. Full count now.
That was the old Don Orsillo line. Deuces are wild.
Holly Paharic due up next. Shall Charlotte Holden reach? Wilkeen set to deliver. And this is hit in the air, right side, and that'll drop. And she's going to keep going to second base. Slides in. She is safe.
Great awareness there to see that it fell and that it was kind of working its way to the line where she could take a little risk going to second base, and she got there in time, and now she's in scoring position with Pahara coming up.
All right, Morgan, what are you scoring that one, a hit or an error?
That was a tough play to make. You're running in the outfield. I'm going to give that a hit.
I'll give it a hit, too.
Yeah.
I think Charlotte deserves that double.
Yeah, that's a tough play to make. You're running back into the outfield.
Holly Paharic set to step in, and look at that. They're going to intentionally walk her.
So I haven't seen that. So you can do it without even having to throw a pitch.
Yes.
You can just say, go to first.
It's just like the big leagues.
Yes. Oh, okay. I like it.
Same rules here now.
And don't have to, throw 4 pitches. I like that.
I'll tell you what. Holly Paharic had 3 intentional walks in the Marblehead game.
Really?
She didn't even get to hit.
They were doing their research then, huh?
And Callery going to drive this one into center field. Lead runner being waved around. Throw home off the mark. She'll score. And now Holly will go to third. And how about that piece of hitting by Ashley Callery? A big hit there, and it's a 2-1 game. Well, you might try to avoid Holly Paharic in the lineup, but the Hillers, they got some other girls that can hit as well.
Yeah, especially the next one, too. Caroline Osman, who's been doing it for some years now.
Yes, and she has hit the ball well all season, but has been pretty hot as of late. A 380 batting average during the regular season, 429 on base percentage, 37 RBIs, 12 runs to her credit, and she's looking for more RBIs here.
I think the key for both teams, keep the ball out of the outfield. These line drives are going to be able to make its way to the fence. They're skipping pretty hard. It's hydroplaning almost when it lands on a line drive. So keep an eye on any balls that are hit to the outfield on a line.
Wind up and the pitch, just inside. Tom Nappy alongside Morgan Donahue. Happy to be with you on the call for this round of 8 playoff game. Denise Antaki on camera, and it's turned into a nice evening here, Morgan, since the rain has gone away.
That was a close pitch, just outside.
Very close indeed, 3-0.
For as ruthless as the weather was earlier, it is, lightened up, and it is beautiful now.
Yeah, we got a nice breeze coming in. And there's a strike, 3-1. And we're live on HCAM and also on Westwood Media Center. Hello to all the fine folks of Westwood. Thanks for tuning in. And
absolutely.
Of course, all the Hiller fans. Glad to have you all tuning in as well. But a good amount of people at this game as well as Caroline Osman draws the walk. And that'll load up the bases. Zoe Adams set to step to the plate, the designated player.
So Izzy Walsh going to have a couple words with Malkeen. Malkeen, she's been doing this for a while. She definitely knows how to keep the focus. All you need is 1 out. Get out of the inning. You're still up 2-1, and right back to your at bats. Still got some good hitters to come up for the Wolverines. So, these are always good to just regroup, and remind yourself of all the other different times in the season that you had bases loaded with 2 outs and getting out of it. So,
a 377 batting average for Zoe Adams, 411 on base percentage, 15 RBIs, 11 runs to her credit. As
My goodness, anyone batting under 350?
not really.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple.
Yeah.
Actually, doing a quick peek, it looks like there's only three girls batting below 350. And we do have a courtesy runner at first base as well for the catcher.
That's been a good addition to the game. Help kind of speed up the game.
Well, and really, you don't want the catchers and pitchers getting hurt running the bases. You know, not that they would, but it is a risk, so that's why they allow it.
Get more people involved. Get more people involved in the game too. You get an underclassman involved, and that confidence they bring into their junior, senior year. It's invaluable.
And the catchers and pitchers, they got to do a little extra work, so they shouldn't have to run the bases, right?
So 3 balls, no strikes.
Well, Morgan, you were mentioning the great hitting on both of these teams. 419 team average for the Hillers, 345 for Westwood. Yeah. So really just 2 great lineups doing battle here today.
Nice pitch there. Malkin gets the strike. All right, so now you got 3 balls, 1 strike. Now, you're going to have to force, if you get a good pitch, you're going to have to force the, unless the hitter's going to take the pitch, but you can get right back in it. And
there's a strike right back in it.
There you go. So now
walk here would score the tying run, but it is now 3-2.
Great battle. We started on 3-0 now. Opportunity to get a strikeout or force the player to put a bat on it.
And that is going to be a trickler up the middle, throw to first, not a problem. So only 1 run for the Hillers, and it's a 2-1 Westwood lead as we will head to the top of the second. We are live from Hopkinton High School on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. Round of 8 softball. Hopkinton Hillers, Westwood Wolverines. We'll be back with the second inning next. Top of the second inning, we got Brooke Benger, the second baseman, at the plate. That pitch inside from Addie. 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for Westwood.
Brooke Benger had a big hit in the Wolverine round of 16 game to get on base to allow for the Wolverines to get the walk-off.
Swing and a miss there, 1-1. Let's take you through the Hiller defense. So on the mound, of course, you have Addie Walls, Caroline Osmond, your catcher, swing and a miss. First baseman is Charlotte Holden. Second base, Ava Davenport. Shortstop, Holly Paharic. Third base, Ashley Callery. And from left to right, Zoe Levine, Ashley Callery, and Cami Trendle.
A strikeout for Addie Walls. Gets Benger swinging. Get the first out. Coming to the plate for the Wolverines, Bella Gentile. She is the designated player today.
Wind up and the pitch, swing and a miss. Well, I'm guaranteeing you that the surface out there a little slick. It was pouring rain all day right up till game time. That's the second hit batter from Addie Walls. So she's still trying to get those corners down. She loves to work the corners, but throwing a little bit too inside at times.
Julia Raffoni coming to the plate. She's been a great player for the Wolverines this year. Has done a great job in center field. I think they're just checking in on Gentile at first, and she's okay. That would hurt. A pitch from Addie Walls. You know, getting hit by one.
Nobody wants to be hit by
I'd need a minute. I need a minute, you know, just to recuperate.
Set to deliver. Swing and a miss. Checking at first. Runner back just safe.
Caroline Osmond, so impressive with her throws. It's right on the money. She's got a quick release, quick, you know, what they call it, pop time.
Yes, it is not easy to steal on her, that's for
right
sure.
on the money. Your best bet is it's got to be a ball in the dirt, something where it takes a bounce or two.
Another swing and a miss there.
I got to say real quick, Tom, bases loaded, 3-0 count. What a great battle by Malkeen to throw 3 consecutive strikes.
And this is hit in the air, right side, and caught.
Right, nice play
Not
there.
a problem.
That was a great play by the right fielder.
And that will bring up the top of the order, Sasha Marino.
So is that Cami Trendle on the catch?
That it was yes, it was
Great catch.
indeed the flex. But very
Good
good flex to have in right field. And now a catch made in deep center by Callie Arthur.
She is
to end the inning.
been terrific. I mean, just the confidence on those plays to track that down, very impressive. She's had 2 great catches so far.
All right, we'll head to the bottom of the second, a 2-1 Westwood lead on HCAM. Bottom of the second inning at the plate, David Davenport, second baseman, and she'll take a strike there.
Nice pitch by Malkeen. To be at this level in this late round games, ultimate competitors, Tom. Both teams just tremendous competitors. They want to win.
That's fouled away. Absolutely, and you know, Morgan, when I saw both these teams on the same side of the bracket, I said, oh, I think there's a good chance.
We talked about it. I mean, when the bracket came out, you're like, don't be surprised. And I also said, don't be surprised if you see Westwood Hopkinton playing first round lacrosse.
Right, and you certainly called that one.
Gravitational pull sometimes when it comes to the TVL teams in the playoffs.
That is up high. And, you know, it's always fun to see a TVL opponent in the playoffs, but you never want to see a TVL team, though, eliminating another TVL team. But, hey, it's
coaches are very
sometimes.
close, so, like, that's a well-hit ball. It's going to go foul, though, right? Todd Zaharik, he said he was good coach, good friends with the with the Hopkinton lacrosse coach. I think the Hopkinton lacrosse coach gave you the tip on Todd's father watching back in New York, which is really cool. You know, that was nice of you to do. But yeah, they're good friends. A lot of these coaches are good friends with each other, and you know, they certainly want to win though. But you know, tough seeing when you do win, it's at the expense of beating one of your friends.
Absolutely. 2-2 the count.
It's a good showing now. So in the last like 20 minutes, probably a good, you know, another additional 60, 70 people here. I'd say there's well over 100 people here watching right now. Close to 200.
Great turnout, and it's turned into a really nice evening to come down to the game. And now we have a full count.
Yep, so full count. Good battle going on between Davenport and Malkeen. 3-2 pitch. That's going to be ball 4. So Davenport's going to get on as a leadoff runner with Callie Arthur coming up to the plate, Tom. I remember hearing that name, hockey player, Callie Arthur. She's been pretty impressive so far in the outfield, making some nice catches.
Great athlete, and she has been very valuable to this team. 509 batting average, 594 on base percentage. They like her at the end of the lineup as she hits this one up the left side. Throw to first is in time. And now they got Davenport in a pickle to throw to third. And now they're going to try to run her down. She slides in. They got her.
Wow. What a play first by Abby Johnson. She got a glove on it, got her hand to adjust for the throw to first. A great throw, great catch by Eve Clinton. Eve Clinton then saw a little bit extra on the lead at second base, threw it to second base, had the pickle, a double play right there. Huge momentum play for the Wolverines on the defense.
Well, I'll tell you, Morgan, these are mistakes, though, you don't want to make in the postseason.
No.
You got to have good base running. You don't want to give any free outs, especially in this type of game where you know it's going to be very close. There's a strike. Oh, and 1 count. Addie Walls grounded out back in the first inning. A swing and a miss there.
I love to see the pitcher-pitcher matchups like this, especially when they're great hitters. You know they're throwing, there's a little extra on these pitches.
Oh, absolutely. Here's the 0-2. Up high. A good eye there by Addie.
So I had Bridget Malkeen on the podcast earlier this year. She's got 4 different pitches. And some of them you might not see a certain pitch through a game. She might save it for certain hitters. But she's got the fastball, she's got a riser, she's got a slider. She's also got kind of an off-speed change-up pitch as well.
And that is just fouled away to keep Addie alive. 1-2.
What a scene, though, to have that space behind the home run fence to watch the game. You know, you get a nice view.
And with these lineups, you got to look out for some balls flying out there.
Oh, yeah. And then, you know, it's right in the mix of it. You got the football field right over here to the right. I remember having a tough game versus Hopkinton in 2004. We lost 42-0 behind Ryan Schlotsky, Haas Anderson. Those guys were great football players.
And this is ripped up the left side. In the left field it goes.
It gets through
and
the
it's
fence.
going to get through the fence. That'll be a ground rule double for Addie.
So that actually probably helps Westwood there, because if the fence was hard, you know, that she might have got to third or might have even gotten to home, but the ground rule double helps Westwood in this instance, keeping her at second base.
Yeah, but now you think back to
we're going to get a courtesy runner.
Ava Davenport got thrown out, caught off the bag at second.
Oh, that would have been.
Yeah, that would have been the tying run right there.
Yep.
So things like that certainly make quite a difference.
Certainly do.
And we do have a courtesy runner out there.
And you got to give credit to Eve Clinton. For her to see that, you're taking a risk trying to throw that to second base. But she came off enough of the bag. And then, you know, it's not easy to get the pickle play in softball, especially the girls, you know, so good at, you know, they're very fast runners, you know, just on the base paths. But to be able to chase after, throw some clean throws to each other and get the tag in time.
I believe that maybe number 9, Kate Riesenberger, into
the courtesy
run.
Yep.
And she's
Ball gets
oh,
away.
it's going to get away. She'll advance. Over to third she goes. And Kate Riesenberger, she's the backup pitcher on the Hillers.
I remember her name.
She's gotten a few starts this season, and she's a great pitcher as well.
Yeah.
And
so how does Hopkinton, when you have two pitchers, but you have like an Addie Walls, what type of opportunities does she get? Is it later in the games? Is it, other teams? Because
I mean, when they have busy weeks, they'll start her.
Because Bridget pitches every single game,
Yeah, I mean, that's typically how it works in softball. When you got your ace, that's who you go with. But when the Hillers have a busy week, they'll put Kate out there for a game to give Addie a break. Or if they get a big lead late in the game, they might throw her in there. But she's been very good. And actually, during the vacation break when the Hillers had a couple games, Addie was gone for that week.
Yep.
So it was Kate Riesenberger pitching, and she did a really nice job.
So 3-0 count for Vine. What do you do here? I mean, you got a runner at third. I'm not throwing anything near the strike zone. Yeah.
And there's ball 4. Well, that's going to bring up Charlotte Holden now. We had a nice double in the first inning to get that one-run rally started. And now you're getting towards the dangerous part of the Hiller lineup.
Mulkeen did a good job, though, getting out of the inning. She threw a nice located pitch where you'll see a lot of these tappers where it gets the end of the bat and fields right to her. She'll field it and, either under toss it to first base or get a nice throw over to Eve Clinton.
And
Runner's
that
going.
pitch down low. She's taken off, slides in, and now they're going to send Riesenberger home, and this game is tied.
So those first and third situations, no different in softball or baseball, but if you elicit a throw on the first and third where the runner in first is trying to steal second, that allows at least the opportunity for that runner at third to go in the back door and try and steal and force a perfect throw back. So sometimes you see the pitcher cut that off. Sometimes you see the catcher just eat it, not throw anything just to focus on the out.
I was actually surprised that they didn't just let her have the steal.
I know, yeah.
And
just eat it. And you need one out. That's it.
Yeah, I think what happened there, the second baseman kind of mishandled the ball or got it trapped under her glove, and that allowed Riesenberger to.
It actually, she almost got the tag after she got to the base, getting up, and trying to tag her in the transition. But that's what you were talking about when it comes to small ball. Small things like that manufacture runs. Now we got a tie game, 2-2.
That's what it's all about at this part of the season. 1-2 the count. And Holden fouls that one away. Well, Charlotte Holden, she's come up very big in the postseason for the Hillers. In the game against Marblehead, she had a pair of hits and scored a run for the Hillers. And it was a couple crucial hits in that game to get things going for the Hillers.
Oh, off-speed pitch. That's, I think, the first one we've seen from Mulkeen. It was a good one. It had some nice drop to it.
Full count now. A correction, 2-2. Unless the scoreboard's off. And this is popped up to shallow right field and caught by the second baseman. But the Hillers played a run, and this game is a brand new ball game. It is 2-2 as we head to the top of the third on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. top of the third inning. And stepping in for Westwood is Abby Johnson, the third baseman. This is up the middle, throw to first, and it gets away.
It was a tough play to make. But Abby Johnson getting on as a leadoff runner, that's so crucial to get your start. And get right back out there when you got some big pieces in the lineup following you. You got Addie Walls right now, and then you got Malkeen to follow.
So lead hitter in the inning on for Westwood, and that's a throw. That's a play that typically Holly makes, but the throw just a little off the mark and went off the glove of Holden, and now we got a bunt, but it's foul.
And you know what the thing is, Tom, is the field is still very wet, so you have to be, you have to be ready for all types of bounces. It's very unpredictable with it's still very moist, so there's no easy play right now on any ball coming off the turf.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and you got to imagine it's making the ball a little slick, it's probably a bit tougher to handle.
Yep.
And a bunt attempt again
for
a strike. Check in at first, and the ball gets into right field, but very good backup.
Great backup. That's a well-coached team when you see where the ball is anticipating going, and then you have the outfielder running in just in case, and that keeps the runner at first.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Morgan. There's not many teams that aren't well coached left standing at this point.
And that is a bunt out.
Yes, a strikeout via bunt. I'm surprised she went for the bunt with 2 strikes.
Westwood's not afraid to do it, but tough pitcher to do it against, an Addie Walls.
Well, you got Bridget Mulkeen. I don't know. Do you pitch to her, or do you?
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see.
Give her the intentional walk here.
But
let's see what they do.
That will put Abby Johnson on second.
Yeah,
so
look at that intentional walk.
Wow, that's a lot of respect right there, and love to see it. I think both teams have the players that are definitely top of mind when they're up at the plate.
Well, they said, "Hey, you're going to walk our best here. We'll intentionally walk yours as well."
Amelia O'Neill had a courtesy runner.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll typically see one for her anytime she's on.
Well, any
the
pitcher.
Base. We didn't see her on the first one because she didn't need one.
Yeah, I mean, you think about, especially in softball.
Yeah.
Most teams they have their pitcher and that's it.
Yeah.
So you're going to protect that pitcher.
Oh,
you're going to bring out the.
You don't want her
run.
sliding, and but also say there's a long inning. You want them staying warm in the dugout.
Here's Amelia O'Neill. She hit a 367 during the season as she pops this up.
She singled in her first at-bat. So singles in this game, Tom, really have, for the most part, the majority of singles will score runners from second. So,
right.
That's where you have to consider when you do put Malkeen on base, you have a runner in scoring position now.
2 on and 1 out as that pitch up high. Yeah, you certainly don't want to give up any walks here and allow Westwood to load the bases.
Some good TVL stories. I just saw Julia Marino walking by, Sasha Marino's sister. She was the emergency backup in a Westwood hockey game this year. Got the shutout as a non-goalie, playing goalie.
Oh wow, that is impressive.
That should have been. I think it was a TVL Sportsnet story. I think we captured it. Got the post-game interview. It was against Norwood too. It's a nice cross-town rival.
Yes.
But what a story. She was emergency backup. Both goalies were sick or hurt, and she came in and got it done.
Ooh, check swing there, but she went.
Yeah.
Tried to hold, but could not. 2-2. Addie Walls looking for the strikeout here, but this is popped up, right side, foul out of play.
O'Neill battling right now, doing a good job.
Yeah, that's the key, make these pitchers work. Addie Walls has thrown 41 pitches so far.
These girls, I had the captains on for a podcast, all 4 of them, and they are just terrific kids. They all love each other. They love to win together, to compete together, the memories they have, and just a fun group of kids.
And this is hit in the air, right side, foul out of play.
He's battling. This is like an old, being at Fenway and watching Wade Boggs, just fouling off, waiting for the right pitch.
We've seen a number of good battles in this game so far. And that trend will only continue as that pitch slightly low, and now it's a full count. big pitch coming up here.
That's what I love about the playoffs, Tom. Each team's going to have these, the 3-2 counts, runners on,
And a swing and a miss. A big strikeout there.
Great pitch, low fastball by Addie Walls, and it was a good cut by O'Neill. These are fun to watch. Pressure situations, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners on. The runner's ready to go on any contact too when you have a 3-2 count.
Here's Eve Clinton at the plate.
She had a nice line drive to center field, her first at bat.
And she puts this one in the air, but it's foul. Eve Clinton hit a .280 during the season, 11 RBIs, 15 runs to her credit.
She's been a great addition to the Wolverines. Her play at first base, whether it's, one hoppers, she's done so good at being able to keep the foot on the bag and get a lot of tough outs for the Wolverines. It was never a perfect throw. Things happen fast in softball in the infield, and to be able to, scoop and catch some balls and still, have your foot on the base is impressive.
Absolutely. Wind up and the pitch. And that is
fouled,
just fouled. Yeah. And congratulations to your Westwood baseball team, by the way. I believe,
yes.
They're moving on.
Yes, it was an impressive win. It was 19-6. At one point, it was 10-0, and then Bristol Plymouth scored 5 to get close, and then the Wolverines had like a 7-run inning, couple home runs.
Unreal.
They hit it on the beach volleyball court.
There's a strike, and she got her. 2 straight strikeouts to wrap up the inning, and we are heading to the bottom of the 3rd, knotted at 2 on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Holly Paharic at the plate. She's the leadoff hitter in this inning, so you'll let her swing here, and they are indeed going to pitch to her.
She's not batting 1,000, so there was a couple balls that weren't hits, so, it's going head-to-head here. Love to see it. 2 of the very best in the TVL. 2 are going to play Division I softball next year, Holly at BC and Bridget at Holy Cross.
We'll certainly be following their careers in the collegiate level. 2-0 the count to Holly. Wind up and the pitch. And a little high. 3-0.
That was a good fastball by Malkeen, just a little bit elevated.
I think she's keeping those pitches a little high intentionally.
That was a great pitch, great cut right there.
Certainly was.
Holly, just when you watch her in the field and even at bat, great mechanics. She was well coached. I'd imagine she probably had some pretty good athletes in her family.
Yes.
That showed her some good technique. It's just so natural. Like when she goes from ball into the glove to the throw, it is something to see.
Ooh,
walk.
There's the walk. So Paharic is on, and now we got Ashley Callery coming to the plate, 3rd baseman.
She had, I believe, a single in her first at-bat.
You would be correct. That was an RBI single to score Charlotte Holden. And she would love to do something similar here as she fouls that one away.
Varsity was going on that pitch.
Calories been hitting the ball very well as of late, especially, but a 460 on the season, 493 on base percentage, 13 RBIs, 14 runs to her credit, and she's been part of this team, I believe, since her freshman season. She's just gotten better and better with the bat.
What year is she now? She,
I believe she is a senior.
Senior, yep.
And runner taking off, throw to second.
That was a good throw,
and she is just safe.
Varsity got in there. That was a great throw by Addie Walls, the catcher. And a good slide there by Varsity to avoid the tag.
Yes, Ashley Calorie Adidas senior, and she advances another senior on base, Holly Varsity. So stolen base there. Wind up and the pitch, and that's fouled away. 1-2.
Nice pitch there, jammed.
I'll tell you, both these catchers are going to be tested today.
Sure.
You got two teams that know they're working against a great pitcher. They got to manufacture runs any way they can.
That's why you see the bunts. You're going to see some bunts to move runners across. Especially you get a leadoff hitter, you get a runner at first with 0 or 1 out. You're going to try and get them to second.
Swing and a miss. There's a strikeout.
Mulkeen adding to her career total. She went over 800 in her career in the last game versus Malden Catholic.
Wow. That'll bring up Caroline Osmond, who's 1 for 1 today. She singled in the first.
That's a big strikeout by Mulkeen. Big lead, secondary lead by Varsity. I think she's trying to draw a throw. She's so fast where as soon as the catcher will throw to either third or, if it is second base, if she throws to second, she's going for third. She's got the wheels.
Wind up and the pitch, and this is driven up the right side off the first baseman's glove. Here comes Varsity around to score, and it's an RBI single for Caroline Osmond. Coming through big once again is the catcher.
That was a laser. Eve Clinton had a glove on it, but it was just so hard hitting and well positioned off to the right side that she couldn't get the full glove on it, but a great hit there by Osmond to get the RBI and put the Hillers up 3-2.
Yeah, you got Elena Vallison to pinch run. Zoe Adams to the plate. Caroline Osmond, she has just come up gigantic in this postseason run for the Hillers. And yeah, I'm surprised that the Westwood first baseman there even got a glove on that one.
Yeah. She's like I've been saying, she's been terrific. And the fact that she got a glove on that, it was well positioned, hit so hard that it was a great effort.
Wind up and the pitch, and this is up the middle, picked up by Mulkeen. She'll throw to first, get the out.
And there we go.
Now they got the runner in a pickle, but she'll slide into third safely.
So that's what I mean about Eve Clinton at first. That throw to her was a hard throw by Mulkeen. It was low. She got a glove on it, made it look easy. So that is why she's so sure-handed at first base, and making a play like that. The other thing to think about here, Tom.
That was fantastic base running by Vallis.
Because Clinton got that glove on the Osmond hit, she kept Osmond at first.
Right.
So that was a big play there. So keep that in mind where if Westwood can get this out, that ball is going to backstop.
And it's going to get away. Here comes Vallis, and she'll score. Elena Vallis coming around on the wild pitch, and the Hillers are now up by 2. Well, that is small ball at its finest, Morgan.
Sure is.
Line up in the pitch to Davenport, and this is driven up the right side, but just foul.
Rocket down the right side of the foul line.
Eva Davenport, 391 on the season, 440 on base percentage, 7 RBIs, 26 runs scored.
Not a bad year.
Certainly not.
And that seems like, all 9 hitters you've mentioned today.
Actually, she was out of the lineup yesterday. They've been using her a lot to pinch run during the postseason stretch. She'll put this one in the air, right side, and foul out of play.
Now, I see a lot of overgrown trees and bushes over there. What's it like over there? Are those balls findable in that area of the premise?
You gotta look for them a bit.
Also looks like, you know, yeah, it looks like poison ivy territory, but you're also dealing with some electric stuff. Is that a cell phone tower over there?
I think they'll have the guys go down in special gear and get those later.
Might need some waiters and making sure you got plenty of tick spray. You know, it's but interesting. Looks like that's why you're able to do so many of these live games. You got, you know, a tower right there.
And that is going to be strike 3 to wrap up the inning, but the Hillers played a pair, and they lead it 4-2 as we head to the top of the 4th. We are live on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. Top of the 4th inning, Westwood with some work to do as they find themselves down 4-2. 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up. Brooke Benger, Bella Gentile, and Julia Raffoni.
So the bottom third of the order. These have been some players that have been playing great as of late. Brooke Benger. I mean, we talk about the freshmen. They've had such a important, you know, ask out of them this season to be able to be in key positions and have key at-bats to help support this team, and they have done terrific.
Swing and a miss there, 0-2.
That's why you got to keep an eye out for Westwood for years to come. When you got all these freshmen that are getting games here in the round of 8, like that is huge for the confidence, huge for the development when they come back next year to know what they're capable of and that big game ability, having that experience.
Absolutely. Lineup and the pitch, a swing and a miss. Or wait, did she get a piece? Looks like maybe she got a piece.
I think it was only 2 strikes there, so
okay.
Now it's, or 1 strike there, so 1 ball, 2
well,
strikes.
that would explain it.
Yeah. 1-2.
And this is hit in the air over towards left center and caught for the out by the ranging Callie Arthur. 1 away.
Callie Arthur is very impressive in center field. She's able to just track it. She's got her footwork down. Very confident catches that aren't easy catches.
Bella Gentile now stepping in.
I believe Callie Arthur, was it her and McPherson, the two-headed monster of the girls hockey team this year?
And this is up the left side, throw over, not a problem. 5-3 for out number 2.
Arthur part of that two-headed monster with McPherson on the hockey team this year?
You are correct.
They were terrific. And then goalie. Who was the goalie?
Well, you got to test
was it Coito? No, that was a different team. The goalie was terrific too. I think.
I'm too much in spring.
Oh, you are.
Right
You got
now.
a lot. You got the spring names. I totally understand it. But I just remember the goalie with those two. Absolutely.
Yes,
terrific
they did have a
trio.
tremendous goalie, and I apologize for forgetting her
No,
name at the moment.
Apologize for putting you on the spot.
And that pitch inside.
So 2 quick outs for the Hillers.
Raffoni flew out her last time up. 1-2 count now. Well, and Addie Walls would like a quick inning. She's up to 56 pitches. There's still a little bit of ways to go here. Up the left side, a nice play at third base. Throw over, and they got her.
Oh, what a play. What a play.
That was just a great stop by Callery. And a nice throw to first base. And 1, 2, 3 they go. To the bottom of the fourth we go. It is the round of 8 Division II state tournament live on HCAM at Westwood Media Center. Bottom of the fourth inning. Hillers would like to add some security, and they got the dangerous Callie Arthur stepping to the plate. And that first pitch there.
Callie Arthur looking like Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field. Making some big plays. You got to give credit. You know, the Wolverines are getting their bat on the ball. They're getting the ball in play, but Hillers making some good plays.
Fouled away, 1-1.
That was a great play by the third baseman for the Hillers to get the third out in the last inning. That was Ashley Callery. Made a nice throw right on the third base bag where she was able to scoop it and then on to first. So 1-1.
Mulkeen set to deliver. And that pitch a little low.
So Tom, I mentioned the crowd earlier. It has probably doubled since I mentioned it then. This is a great crowd we have here.
Really is.
All over
Very
the premise too. Behind the home run fence, behind the backstop, offset to the right as well. Great crowd.
Yeah, a lot of
seen a lot
Westwood folks.
A lot of green. A lot of green when it comes to the Hiller colors and the Wolverine colors.
Yeah, you got some Hiller green and Westwood green out there. And that pitch is high. Watch on. So Callie Arthur will trot down to first base. Now you got Addie Walls stepping to the plate.
Dangerous hitter. 1 for 2. She had a nice hit in her last at bat, a double.
1-0 the count. Well, big opportunity here for the Hillers. Lead man on, top of the order.
Runner going.
And she's taking off. Throw to second, a little off the mark. And a good steal by Callie.
The lights coming on now here at the softball field. How many games have you done this year? Is that a common setting for games or most of the games?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You guys do a lot of night games, you know,
I
soccer,
love it.
Lacrosse. I love watching it.
It's just a great atmosphere
some prime time.
at night.
Absolutely.
You got more of the parents and family members and friends that can make the games.
Yeah.
They're not stuck in work.
Yeah,
so
I love it. It's been some interesting games throughout the playoffs. You see some games at 3:30, 4 o'clock for playoffs.
And of course, like today, you can work around the rain a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, is she hit her?
I think it was a walk.
Oh, a walk there, all right.
Pitch walk.
So a bit of a struggle for Mulkeen as we now have 2 runners on base. Zoe Levine stepping to the plate. And Mulkeen, she's up to 75 pitches. So they're going to have a little chat here and try to settle her down.
Yeah, she's an amazing competitor. She'll throw 300, 400 if she has to. She's just set such a great example for her teammates. She dives for balls on the ground. It doesn't matter. She'll do whatever it takes to win. And then she, when she's at the plate too, the opportunities that she has, and you saw it in that first inning with the home run. I mean, that was one of the furthest balls I've seen hit all year, hitting it just over the scoreboard for a 2-run home run.
And we do have Riesenberger out there to courtesy run for Walls. And that pitch a little inside, 1-0.
That was a good-looking pitch. I think Malkeen wanted it, and it's just outside.
Set to deliver, swing and a miss.
So even with the 75 pitches, she's still got some velocity behind that fastball. It was a great pitch there.
Well, those softball pitchers could throw a little bit more than those baseball pitchers can.
Yeah.
But two very different throwing motions.
Totally. Not only just pitches in a game, but also, you can pitch every game. You can pitch all 20 games. You don't see that in baseball. Baseball, you have a lot of rules with the pitch counts.
Well, baseball is more shoulder involved. I think that's really the thing there.
It reminds me of the committee getting the win for.
Ooh,
that's going to be strike 3.
Looks like she tried to hold up, but a well-needed strikeout for Mulkey.
Great bounce back right there. But what a game for the Hopkinton boys in the round of 32. 7 innings, 7 pitchers.
Yes.
Tom, you texted me, and I didn't believe it until I put it on HCAM myself and watched it. Incredible.
They did the same thing in the round of 16, but in that pitcher duel, they lost 2-0. And against a very good Reading team.
Reading is good.
But what a great season the Hillers had.
That's interesting. Reading Division I hockey team, perennial top Division I hockey team, and then other sports might be D2, but they're good in everything. Lacrosse, they have a terrific team.
Wind up and the pitch up high. Charlotte Holden doubled in the first inning and scored the first run of the game off RBI single by Ashley Callery. She would love to get on base here.
Now, do you see the Hillers ever do double steals?
It's not out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah. They've been aggressive on the base path. That double steal is certainly a momentum.
I don't know, with a catcher like Izzy Walsh, I don't know if they're going to
She's got a cannon.
Try it. Wind up and the pitch, especially with this part of the batting order up.
Yeah.
2-2 count now.
It's a great pitch there by Malkeen.
Wind up and the pitch.
Oh, she got her.
Strike 3, big strikeout.
Back to back.
Well, here's trouble. Holly Paharik coming to the plate.
Well, let's just real quick about Bridget. We were talking about the champion mindset in her. Back-to-back strikeouts when she needed it. You get 2 runners on. Just an incredible way to just get right back in the account, get 2 quick outs like that.
You see, and it looks like they'll pitch to her.
Yep.
Wind up and the pitch, down low. Paharik singled in the first, was intentionally walked in the third. Ended up scoring a run in the third inning as well.
Fast base
down low,
checking on first. They got her.
Oh, they got her off
the
bag.
The runner coming down the back.
And now she's going to head back to first.
They got to tag her before she goes home, did they? Yes. Well, they're going to say safe, so the run scores for Hopkinton because they didn't get the tag on that. But the Wolverines would have had to tag her before the runner at third touches home to get the out without the run scoring, but unable to get that tag. That run is going to count. 5-2 Hillers.
Well, Kate Riesenberger strikes again. They catch her off the bag and in a pickle. And I think they forgot about Callie Arthur, who was at second, already on her way to third once that pickle started.
Yeah.
And then when they threw back to first base to try to get her, she crossed the plate, and Westwood could not get that tag down in time. Riesenberger advances to second now. She gets another stolen base.
You still got Paharik up. Yeah, and they're just going to walk her.
So it'll be 2 on, 2 outs. Another run in for the Hillers, and you got Ashley Callery coming to the plate.
Callery coming to the plate. Singled and struck out on the day.
Wind up and the pitch. Up high.
Callery had a great play on that third base line in the last inning.
Certainly did. She's been great defensively. Rock solid at third base. And that one's going to get away. Both runners are going to advance.
Caught a piece of the umpire, so kept the runners to 1 base. Not that runners get 2 bases on balls that get to the backstop, but at least help get to it quickly.
Well, Callery would love to add on to the Hillers' lead here. And this is up the left side, picked up by the shortstop, throw over.
What a play.
And they got her.
What a play. That was Sasha Marino in the hole, and equally impressive catch by Eve Clinton to get that out, get the Wolverines out of the inning. Only 1 run scored for the Hillers there.
All right, well, the Hillers played another run. It's 5-2, heading to the top of the 5th on HCAM. Top of the 5th inning, top of the order for Westwood. Sasha Marino, Abby Johnson, Izzy Walsh due up.
Sasha, I believe, has a couple home runs this year. Saw one of them at the new home run fence in Westwood.
And that pitch down low. Yeah, Sasha Marino, 1 home run on the season, 8 RBIs, 19 runs scored, but a very nice 455 batting average. That pitch down low. 2-0 the count.
These Westwood players, these seniors, they completely changed the Westwood softball program, Tom. Last year, when they got to share the TVL title, the first time in 41 years.
And this is up the left side, drop by Callery, picks it back up, throw over, and she got her.
It's a great recovery. It was a hard hit ball by Marino. And a great recovery by Callery to get a strong throw over there to first and get Marino in time.
And she looked cool as a cucumber, even though she dropped the ball, just picked it right up and got it over.
Just got to keep it in front of you. That's the most important. Keep it in front of you. It gives you the opportunity to still make a play.
A pitch to Abby Johnson, a little high. Johnson doubled in the 3rd inning. And fouls that one away. Abby Johnson, a .311 batting average during the season.
Got a single in her last at-bat.
21 RBIs, 15 runs to her credit.
Abby also a soccer player for the Wolverines.
Line up and the pitch, and this is up the middle, picked up by Walls, throw to first, not a problem. 1-3 for out number 2. That'll bring up Izzy Walsh. Well, it's all about at this level, at this time in the postseason, you got to have the defense, you got to have good pitching.
Yep. And the bats, getting the bats going.
And of course,
and
the bats.
Underrated today is
bats always help.
Stolen bases, getting runners in position, in scoring position.
One of the things that both of these teams do so well, it's just the small things.
Yeah. Attention to detail. Both teams really doing a good job of that.
A pitch inside. 1-1. So you guys got baseball and girls lacrosse still alive,
and
right?
boys lacrosse.
Boys lacrosse too.
Lacrosse
that's right.
Playing the 2 seed tomorrow in Long Meadow. That'll be
that's right.
It'll be a nice drive, but I'll be going out there watch my nephew CJ Hancock.
That'll be a battle.
Both their games, the last 2 games have been a battle. The Hopkinton game was a battle, and then Westwood got it done. Upset over Marshfield on in the round of 16 in Marshfield.
That's a big upset.
That's a runner-up. Runner-up from last
11
year.
11-10
yes.
win.
Liam Williams, the hero, 6 seconds left in the game, scores the game winner.
And a walk here to Izzy Walsh.
And Tom, don't underestimate. You got Walsh on with Malkeen
There's
at the
trouble.
plate. Do you walk it? Do you walk Malkeen to get to O'Neill? We'll see.
Let's see what they do here. Yep, they're going to walk her.
Yep, that's a lot of respect.
Intentional walk.
And I see the coach. It's Westwood. I think it's Westwood's first base coach that was helping out over there. But it's a lot of respect.
They're giving her the.
Is there
the Shohei Ohtani treatment?
Yes. Is there a limit to how many walks you can do like that?
There is not.
Wow. Okay.
Amelia O'Neill at the plate.
I like it though because there's strategy. I got to check in on second.
Yeah, Holly got. She was intentionally walked 3 times in the win against Marblehead.
It's
in
like
the
Barry Bonds.
16.
Barry Bonds in his day. You remember when he was going for the home run record?
Or Aaron Judge type of
how about the
treatment.
Season, how about the season he's having?
Oh, unbelievable!
Unbelievable. He's batting over right around 400 in the power numbers he's putting up.
I'm more curious. A lot of people are talking about the home run record, but will he end it up to 400? And that is a nice play from Davenport at second base. 4-3 for out number 3, and we will move along to the bottom of the 5th. It is a 5-2 Hiller lead on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. Bottom of the 5th inning. And coming up for the Hillers, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Caroline Osmond, Zoe Adams, and Ava Davenport. And it was a nice play to end the top half of the inning by Ava. A nice snag on a grounder and good throw to first. Osmond steps to the plate. She had an RBI single in the 3rd inning. 2 for 2 at the plate today.
She gets
and now she gets hit by the pitch. Lead runner on for the Hillers.
And going to get a courtesy runner.
And coming in to courtesy run for the Hillers, that is Elena Vallis. Courtesy run for the catcher.
Zoe Adams met her mom before the game. Very nice lady. She had a Hopkinton hockey jacket on and telling me about her son was on the hockey team a couple years ago, and I mentioned I was coaching a couple years ago, so we had some great Westwood Hopkinton battles. Some fun times and fun memories.
Absolutely. Zoe Adams 0 for 2 is grounded out a pair of times. Takes that one high, 2-0. Checking at first, runner slides back safe.
That was a great catch by Walsh. That was a high pitch, able to get the glove on that. And, if that wasn't more, difficult enough, she checked, threw a rocket over to first right after it.
Yeah, they're going to try to keep these Hiller runners at bay.
Izzy Walsh, a player who I think would be a potential captain next year as a junior.
And runner taking off, throw to second, gets into center field.
Throw looked like it was going to be in time. It's just the one hop was a challenge, a difficult one hop to get glove and tag.
Especially when you're going against the slide. That was a great slide into the base by Vallis. 2-1 the count. Lineup and the pitch, and that one is low. Vallis thought about it, but back to second she goes.
3 balls and 1 strike. And no outs.
Lineup and the pitch, up high, and there's another walk. 2 on, no outs. Ava Davenport set to step to the plate. Hiller's looking to add some security here. Swing and a miss.
Great pitch there by Malky. Nice fastball.
Well, an important out to get here with Callie Arthur due up next. That one a little high.
So, Callie Arthur as the 9 hitter, but she's one of the better hitters. Is that just a strategic play there where you get 2 1?
I think it is. I mean, it just
has
really worked.
Yeah.
And this is driven up the right side, and that is going to get through. Throw home, and it's going to be bases loaded for the Hillers. Well, that was took a tough hop to make a play on.
Good job, though, to keep it in front of her, so the run didn't score. She had a nice throw. That was Benger, a nice throw to home to keep the runners at bay. Starts with the first out.
Now they're going to talk some strategy.
Yeah.
Bring the whole infield in. You got
See,
Callie Arthur coming up, and
see head coach Tom Grandi coming in.
Pretty much any contact will give you a sacrifice run. Or the play's going to be at home. I mean, you're just hoping that they keep it in the infield or
well, you got the strikeout too with Malkeen. She's got strikeout ability, so I've seen her with bases loaded and then struck out 3 in a row. She's got that.
And we have a pinch runner in the game. It looks like that Charlotte Holden coming into the game to pinch run for Zoe Adams. Or it couldn't have been Holden. We'll try to get you who that pinch runner is.
Or is it at second base? Second base. Let's see if we can get a number.
And that pitch up high. Of course, you got the hair blocking.
The hair doesn't
number.
help, yeah. It looked like an 8, but I don't know. Potentially Riesenberger, number 9.
We'll go with that. I think it's Riesenberger. This is
Johnson
a little trick there, but
great
and they
play.
get the out at home. That's exactly what they wanted there.
Play. That's huge. That's not an easy play to make. The runner was going on contact. Nice quick hands by Johnson. Get the glove on it, and then a nice throw to Izzy Walsh. Izzy almost threw it to first, too, to potentially go for the double play, which is very hard to do. I mean, it's such a short run from home to first, but good job getting that first out.
So Arthur reaches on the 1-2 fielder's choice, and now you got Addie Walls stepping to the plate.
Very dangerous hitter.
Bases remain loaded, 1 out. There's a strike. A strikeout would be huge here for Westwood. But Addie Walls, not so easy to strike out.
Got the infield in still for the Wolverines.
And Walls gets a good piece of this one to the fence. See you later. A grand slam for Addie Walls.
What a hit. Helping out the effort. When you see good pitchers that hit well like that, you know, it's what a confidence builder you have where you can make a difference in helping out the effort when you're back on that mound. But what a timely hit right there. Grand slam over the left field fence to put the Hillers up 9-2.
What an absolute shot by Addie. And that is exactly what the Hillers were looking for there, as they, I'd say, gave themselves some good wiggle room as they now lead it by 7 with Zoe Levine coming to the plate. And then that ball just didn't have a chance. Absolutely crushed. Addie Walls with a grand slam. Her 4th home run of the season. Zoe Levine steps to the plate. Bases are clear thanks to Addie. 4 more runs are in. That's fouled away. Well, really, with this Hiller lineup, it's pick your poison.
Yeah. They can all, that's your leadoff hitter right there. And she hits for power. She hits a lot of extra base hits.
She's having quite a day at the plate, 2 for 3 with a walk.
Yeah, she's a very impressive player.
And there's a strike.
She's going to be a very impressive player for years to come, as she is only a sophomore and just, you know, what the trajectory she's on, 300 career strikeouts as of a couple weeks ago.
Unreal.
It'll be interesting to see what those batting stats look like in a couple years too, or where they're at now just for the career. I'm sure she's got close to 60 career, 70 career hits, I bet.
Well, this season she hit a 436, 484 on base percentage. We'll have to do some further digging to get the exact hit number. But that was her 4th home run of the season, and she certainly has some good power on that swing.
How common are the home runs here at the softball field here?
We've seen quite a bit this season, especially with this very good Hiller lineup. They have some just great power hitters.
Yeah.
Over to the second baseman, throw to first. They get the out.
Nice play there by Benger. Get the Wolverines' second out.
4-3 on the out. Charlotte Holden to step to the plate. Charlotte 1 for 3 on the day. Doubled in the first inning and scored a run.
You ever have 3 games going on at once? I mean, when you look proximity, you got the softball field here, baseball field off to the left, and then a lacrosse game going on. Any of that?
Oh, on the turf, no. You can only baseball and softball simultaneously.
Yes, but not lacrosse. Yeah.
Well, that's the outfield.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And the baseball team oftentimes they can only do this when the softball team's not playing, but they don't like to have the fence. They'll have the never-ending outfield during the season unless softball's going on. Then they got to have a bit of a fence.
I was watching. You guys played Zavarian this year in baseball, and did I see a right-handed hitter hit a home run out of right field in that game? I thought I saw one come over this fence.
I think you might have.
And that was impressive. I mean, that is a very difficult feat.
And a walk here. Charlotte Holden drawing up the walk, and now you got Holly Paharic coming to the plate.
See, I keep tabs of the HCAM content and stuff, Tom. You know, some fun games, you know, outside of just TVL games on HCAM are fun to watch in the different sports as well.
Well, I tune in to Westwood just to hear you, Morgan.
You got to put the volume down. A lot of yelling. A lot of yelling. You get
likewise.
Get very excited for the Wolverines, you know, when they're
well, you should be. You've had some great seasons this year. I've had a number of great seasons with calling these
some fantastic
Hiller teams.
Yep.
And perhaps we'll have a state championship season very soon.
There's a lot of teams still in it, and a lot of teams determined.
Holden's going to advance as the pitch got away.
Looked like Medfield's doing Medfield things, and girls lacrosse has advanced to, I believe, the Final Four for their division. I think boys lacrosse, you know, they're got to be the favorite to win it for Division III. They're terrific.
Absolutely. As that pitch is in there for a strike, 2-1. Well, they're going to continue pitching to Holly because why not?
Yep.
And good battle here.
Yeah, Mulkeen, she's going to compete no matter what. She sets such an amazing example. Like I said, it could be 300 pitches. It could be 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever. She wants to compete, and she wants to give everything she's got, and she has been an amazing leader for the Wolverines the last 4 years.
And a walk for Holly. And the Hillers have batted around as Ashley Callery set to step to the plate. Oh, what an inning for the Hillers. A tremendous grand slam by Addie Walls. Coming through big with the bat once again.
Now, Tom, we talk about moments that you look back. It could be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now. She's always going to remember that. And she's going to remember your call on that, too. So that's a special connection.
Well, I don't know
if
she'll remember my call, but she'll
will
remember the hit.
She will. You know, but they're going to remember it, you know, and those memories, to have those captured on HCAM, to have them captured on Westwood Media Center, there's just really nothing better. I wish I had it when I was in high school. To be able to get those, you know, captured on video, but to have, you know, someone saying your name and what you did, there's really nothing better.
And the networks all around the TVL just do such a great job.
Yeah.
Some really good coverage of this league. As Callery steps to the plate, and you know, I hear a lot of people, they know that the majority of channels around the league are covering the majority of home games. So when their team's on the road, they'll tune in Westwood or in Norwood or WACA in Ashland.
Yeah, I love that. Is that pronounced Waka?
Well, that's
or
like
just WACA.
The professional way is WACA.
WACA,
yeah.
They do a great job.
They'll say Waka.
Yeah, they do a great job. That's a hard hit ball.
Look out.
Hit the third base coach.
And that's the Hillers head coach, Alberry, and she seems to be okay.
Shakes it right off like it was nothing.
She'll probably make Ashley run a couple of laps for that one.
HCAT, they do a great job. You know, Norwood as well. And you know what's great is everyone has different content. Everyone's kind of setting the bar, you know, and they all have some great things they do. And the collaboration is terrific when everyone's getting together and covering the games
you've collaborated with the folks in Norwood.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
And that is fouled away. And of course, we've collaborated a number of times.
Yes, we had some good games. You know, the
very good games.
Hockey games, overtime thriller. Wolverines coming away with the Nolan Lewis overtime winner in boys hockey, and very entertaining girls hockey.
We had a good boys basketball game this past winter.
Girls basketball as well.
Here's the 1-2, and just misses there. 2-2.
That boys basketball game was an interesting one. Westwood beat Norwood by a buzzer beater a couple days before. They had to beat Hopkinton and then Dedham on their consecutive games to win a share of the TVL. They did it.
That was quite a run by them.
Two tough teams to do that
against. And this
is
up the left side. She'll step on third for the force out.
Smart play.
But the Hillers, they plate 4 more runs thanks to Addie Walls, who goes yard with a grand slam And the Hillers certainly have some breathing room. It's 9-2 as we head to the top of the 6th on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. Top of the 6th inning, 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for Westwood. As they have some work to do. Eve Clinton stepping to the plate, and she'll pop that one up.
That was a good cut. That was a rainmaker right there. That went high.
Certainly did. Addie Walls giving the Hillers a 9-2 lead. 4 more runs with a grand slam in the 5th. And the Wolverines looking to get these bats going. Certainly it's going to be a tall task against Addie Walls as that's fouled away.
Starts with 1. You need to get 1, get on base, and then get some momentum going. You know, you chip away at it. You get 2 innings to do it.
Well, it's never over till it's over, Morgan.
Great Yogi Berra. Was it a Yogi Berra quote?
Yogi Berra, yeah.
Yeah, looks like a fog machine, yeah. Ain't over till it's over when you think about the...
Are you accusing us of foggate?
Are you fogging over here? It ain't
no,
over.
That's actually a light.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But it's
it's showing all the moisture. Still some moisture, you know, or fog particles.
Speaking of Hopkinton and Westwood, there was a soccer game we were doing. Swing and a miss for a strikeout there. And it was Hopkinton versus Westwood, and the Hillers were in, it was either the Hillers or Westwood were in pink jerseys.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And the fog was crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Did they
I could barely
delay?
see
Did they
who
take
had
a
the
delay
ball.
or anything? You know,
they actually did. They ended the game early because it got so bad.
Yeah, sometimes. Interesting game this year for Westwood baseball. So they played Dover Shearborn. It was a late start because of buses and some different things that were going on in Westwood, and they ended after 7 innings tied up. And then they had to come back like 3-4 weeks later to finish the game. It was one inning, and Dover Shearborn came away with the win. But imagine just hopping on the bus to continue a continuation from a game.
Right. 1 and 1 count on Benger. So they had a continued part of the game?
Yeah, so they went 7 innings, and the ump said that's it. It was too dark. So they had to figure out also.
I've seen that, yeah. Before Hopkinton.
Especially early on in the year, early on in the year.
There's a couple of those instances. And this is ripped up the middle. That'll trickle into center field. A 1-out single for Brooke Benger, and that'll bring up Bella Gentile.
Great hit there by Brooke. Got a nice piece of the bat on that one, and it starts with 1. So she's on base.
And they're getting some new softballs out there. They got some serious softballs to find in those woods.
I was going to say, whoever's going after them, getting their money's worth today. It's not a foul ball friendly area to track them down.
Yeah, that's especially at nighttime.
But I will say, at least, there's the trade-off for that is no cars are getting hit.
Right.
Which the parking lot closer to the baseball field, I'm sure there's a couple windshields here and there.
Oh yeah.
And the old baseball field up a level, a couple home run windshield hits here and there, back in the day.
There's been a few insurance companies called in that parking lot.
The old giant glass called, yeah.
That's fouled away. 0-2 the count on Gentile. Julia Raffoni due up next. 1 on, 1 out for Westwood. Addie set to deliver. A little high. Checking at first. Runner back safe. Addie Walls up to 83 pitches on the day.
A lot of playoff matchups this year. So we're talking about, obviously, tonight. Boys lacrosse. Volleyball as well, Tom, this past year. Westwood and Hopkinton girls volleyball. Round of 8 in Hopkinton. Westwood got a nice win and it was an upset.
That was a great match. Very close.
Yeah.
And Westwood ended up with that one.
Great rivalry that has formed over the last, well, it's been going on for a while, but
I feel like it's always a good match whenever it's Hopkinton Westwood. Name the sport.
Holliston has been the big rival for Westwood many years, just the football one, you know, and it ties over into other sports as, you know, football players playing multiple sports and whatnot. But Hopkinton has really kind of, that momentum has really built up the last 10, 15 years.
Certainly has. I'd say a lot of it started with hockey.
Yes, totally.
Some great hockey matchups.
There was some close matchups. There was also a lot of emotions on the line.
Yes. You're guaranteed a physical game.
Some penalty minutes over the years, you know, just keeping the emotions in check.
I pitched down low.
I remember you calling a game and you said, "You can't do that at this level."
2-2 the count.
Looks like a full count.
And there's the walk.
All right. So now two runners
Westwood
on.
A little something brewing here.
Raffoni coming to the plate.
You know, if you're Addie Walls, you want to keep your foot on the gas.
Certainly both pitchers have thrown a lot of pitches, so they're not going to be as sharp as they were in that first inning. And I'd say to the Wolverine players, be patient.
Yep.
Be patient at that plate.
Yeah,
Force them to throw strikes.
They're going to make Addie work here, no doubt.
And you got Raffoni up at the plate, and then the top of the order. So, you know, there's some opportunity to get some good bats up with some players on base.
Walls set to deliver.
Good
swing
cut.
and a miss.
That was a good cut, good pitch as well. Equally impressive on both ends.
I think you're going to see Addie lock in a little bit here.
Raffoni hit one to right field, so keep an eye on that area of the field.
That one just misses. 1-1.
It was a good eye. The crowd is stuck around here. They know what's on the line.
And this is hit in the air, right field, and caught.
That was identical. I said keep an eye on right field because that's where Raffoni had hit earlier in the game in the second inning.
Sasha Marino set to step to the plate.
She's someone that's got home run power.
Absolutely.
She's had a couple this year. Home run would make it interesting. Get it back within 4.
And takes that one low. Wind up and the pitch, and she gets a piece of this one. Over to the second baseman, flip to first, not a problem. 4-3, 4 out number 3, and we will head to the bottom of the 6th in this Division II round of 8 matchup. Winner gets a trip to the Final Four. Bottom of the 6th inning. Hillers feeling good, leading 9-2. And at the plate, you got Caroline Osmond. 1-0 the count.
Caroline's been very busy at the plate. Couple hits, I think also hit by a pitch.
Yeah, she had a pair of singles, RBI single in the 3rd, and was hit by a pitch. So having a nice day for that on-base percentage.
She's been great behind the plate too. You know, anytime you got good pitchers, you also got to think about the catcher, the game the catcher does, and the pitch, calling the game and keeping balls in front. And also,
I'll tell you, Addie Walls, her pitches have a good amount of movement. Not a very easy pitcher, I'm sure, to catch, but Caroline Osmond just does a terrific job. And she's going to put this one into right field. A nice single to start the bottom of the 6th. Zoe Adams set to step to the plate. And we might, we'll see if we get some pinch hitters here, perhaps, with the Hillers having a comfortable lead. Right now we're going to get a pinch runner.
Yeah, looks like number 3. That is Elena Vallis, freshman.
So the courtesy runner in for the catcher. Now we got Zoe Adams at the plate.
Shout out, Tom, all the work you did today, getting the tent set up, getting all the electrical
Well, actually, a
set
big
up.
thank you to John Ritz for getting the tent set up.
Big time. I didn't know John was here.
Yeah,
John's a legend.
He came down just to help us with the tent, so
Good
that was
man.
terrific.
Good man.
And checking at first, runner slides back safe.
Shout out to Denise Antaki, filming today, always doing a terrific job. Had the great opportunity to work together during the Westwood Hopkinton softball game earlier this year.
Business.
Yes. Basketball too. Yes, and a lot warmer day. It was a very cold day when we worked the earlier game.
Yes, that was
We were doing
crazy cool.
Baseball and softball at the same time. Softball ended early. I came over to check in on baseball. I think we might have done an inning and a half. And I said, Tom, I am freezing. I gotta get home.
No, I think it was more like, Tom, I'm freezing.
Yeah, so I was definitely, it was like shaking while trying to
I'm
tell
like,
you
yeah,
I was
you're
freezing.
turning blue. You should go home.
Yeah.
All right, Zoe Adams getting a walk there, so it's 2 on now, no outs. And coming up, Ava Davenport. And Ava Davenport had a nice hit last inning. Scored one of the runs on that Addie Walls grand slam. Takes a ball there. Now Mulkey now up to 138 pitches. This lineup has really made her work. And this is up the left side, and that is going to get by the third baseman. Here comes another Hiller run.
Johnson got a piece of that one, but she had to lay out a little bit for that one. It was a well-placed hit. Went just by her, and the run scores there. Give the Hillers an 8-run lead.
Yeah, you got Callie Arthur due up. Callie 2 for 2 with a walk. Has also scored a run. And what do we got here?
Yeah, making some changes here. It looks like a runner is going to come in for.
All right. Courtesy runner is in, Riesenberger, I believe.
Yeah, she's come in a few times.
What numbers? That is actually Ella Tedstone, Jr. in there to pinch run. And that pitch in there for a strike.
Well, Callie Arthur Jr., she'll be back next year for hockey. It's going to be another good team, I bet.
Yes.
Some fun games. Hit a good first-round matchup versus Medfield in the Division II girls hockey tournament.
And that one is high, gets by, and both runners advance.
I think Hoptown beat Medfield this year during the regular season. And then Medfield gets the win in the first round. And Medfield goes on to win a state championship. That was
Yeah, what a
great year
run
for
they
them.
had.
As a 13 seed, I think.
Yeah, just a tremendous run.
It was a tough loss for the Wolverines.
Well, lots of TVL teams still standing, and here's a bunt up the first base line, and that is fair. Throw home.
Gonna be safe at home, out at first.
Was a little late, so they did get one of the outs.
So, yeah, I got the out at first, but the runner at third is safe.
Another run scores for the Hillers. So Adams around to score.
So interesting thing I learned, I don't know if it's the same for softball, but if you do get up 10, during the regular season with the run rules and whatnot, playoffs it does not apply unless a team says, yes, we want to end this game, they agree to end it. But we had that go on in the baseball game, and the umpire told me that, the playoffs, you play to the end unless the teams, agree that they want to end it if it ever gets to 10 plus runs.
So Addie Walls at the plate, 1-1. Well, we'll see if what happens if it gets to that point here.
Yep.
And Addie Walls going to drive this into left field. Another run will score. An RBI single for Addie Walls, who fresh off a grand slam last inning, drives in another Hiller run. And the Hillers, they could smell the Final Four. Another great piece of hitting by Addie. Zoe Levine due up.
They're going to keep playing. I love it. Just keep till the very end for the Wolverines.
Well, actually, in softball, it's 12.
Is it 12? Oh, okay.
Yes. 12 runs for the mercy rule.
I'm delusional over here.
Mulkeen set to deal. Hit in the air, foul out of play.
And I don't think anyone's going to get that one. That one is about 30 feet into the gorse. You're going to need a weed whacker to get a path to track that down.
And she will put this one in the air, caught by the left fielder for the out.
Nice catch there by Mia French, freshman. Some valuable experience Wolverines are getting in this game, these underclassmen. Getting a flavor of the playoffs, the nerves, and just being able to make some big plays in a game that will be so beneficial for them in their future careers.
Well, I'll tell you, they've had a tremendous season, great run, and even winning any of these state tournament games is difficult.
They're very difficult. Winning any game, as a coach, I used to say, winning, there's no free win. You have to go out there. You got to earn it. It is not handed to you.
And this is up the left side.
Oh, great play by Clinton at first base. On the one hop to get the Wolverines out of the inning.
Yeah, very nice play to wrap up the inning, but the Hillers plate another pair, and Westwood will be down to their final 3 outs. Coming up next on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. Top of the 7th inning, a nice 12-2 lead for the Hillers. 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for Westwood. The Hillers looking to get 3 more outs and move on to the final 4. And after the game, keep it right here. We'll have the trophy presentation, or the Final 4 banner presentation, whatever it is they do nowadays.
Yeah, they have a trophy. They did it the other day, and a banner.
Right. They do have a trophy.
There's a Final 4 trophy and a MIA Final 4 banner. So Westwood girls lacrosse had that yesterday. It was awesome to see. And they will have the same, I'm sure, here today.
The 2-1 count now on Addie Johnson. Well, it's Addie Walls has pitched great, and she has been the main source of offense.
She is the MVP, no question.
Absolutely.
Today.
And the Hillers were certainly looking forward to a trip to the Final 4, but 3 more outs to get, and it's a full count here. Wind up and the pitch, and this is driven in the left field. The leadoff single for Abby Johnson.
Hard hit ball there by Johnson. That was a great piece of hitting there.
And look out, this Westwood lineup, they could be dangerous. They're not going down without a fight. Here's Addie Walls coming to the plate.
Addie, one of the highest on-base percentages for the Wolverines. She can get hits out there. She also get some walks. She also has most hit by pitches on the season too, I believe 7. So
that's fouled away, 0-1. The fog really picking up out there, Morgan. Yeah. I'm having a little trouble seeing the right side of the field there.
It's moving too. It's moving across. The lights, you wouldn't know if the lights weren't, on top of it.
I feel like just a number of times when Westwood and Hopkinton meet up on the fields, there's fog.
It's just it's such a it creates pressure, and
it makes it more dramatic.
Yes, absolutely. It's like when you watch the old NFL films on the frozen tundra, it was minus 20 degrees out. It's no different when it comes to TVL sports.
The foggy tundra.
Some great backdrops. When you look back on the games and you say, hey, you remember all that fog? You remember, all the...
Oh, and a nice steal there. Oh, they got her! It was a tremendous tag by Paharic. She jumped up, reached the glove down, and got her.
It looks like there's some confusion.
And are they saying that she was on the bag and came off the bag?
If the bag came off, then that's one thing. So if she slid into the bag and it came off, then, it's a dead play after she hits the bag and she was there safely. But they're going to say, no, the bag stayed in.
Yep.
And she is out.
Johnson caught stealing, 1 away. But did you see that tag by Paharic? I mean, that was unreal. That was just a tremendous tag.
Yep.
And a strike there.
Because I think Abby was there. She was there in time, but came off the bag. And Paharic was ready for that possibility and had the tag ready.
Wind up and the pitch. And this is up the middle. Grabbed by the second baseman. Throw to first. They get the out. 4-3 for out number 2.
Down the last out. Bridget Mulkeen.
Yeah, Bridget Mulkeen will come to the plate, and I'd imagine you pitch to her here.
Yeah. She's going to be remembered as the best softball player to ever come out of Westwood High School.
I'm sure she'll have a fantastic collegiate career as well.
There's no name for the softball field at Westwood High School that I'm aware of, but maybe someday it'll be Bridget Mulkeen Field. She certainly earned it with what she's done in a Westwood uniform.
Pops this one up, and it's caught, and that's your ball game. The Hopkinton Hillers are heading to the Final 4 as they defeat Westwood 12-2. What a tremendous run by this Hopkinton Hillers team. And the run continues on to the Final Four as they get a victory over a great Westwood team. 12-2 is your final. The Bats came through big. Addie Walls was tremendous on the mound. The defense was flawless. A great win for the Hopkinton Hillers. They scored 12 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Westwood 2 runs on 5 hits and 4 errors. Your player of the game, certainly Addie Walls. And now the team coming over to celebrate their tremendous accomplishment. And Morgan, with the state tournament format, to get to the Final Four, even to be at this point, it's just tremendous.
Big shout out to the Hillers. What an incredible season. They are not done yet. They are Final Four bound after a terrific game. And look at them, they got the trophy, and they are going to soak this one in. This is just a remarkable team, as I mentioned, start to finish. And they are, I think they got a great shot at winning the state tournament. I also, got to give a shout out to Westwood. 3 seniors for the Wolverines. Bridget Malkeen, Amelia O'Neill, and Sasha Marino. Those 3 have been so important to what they started here at Westwood. And last year becoming a TVL champion. The first time in 41 years. They have single-handedly changed the trajectory of the Westwood softball program to what it is today. And it is all because of players like them and Dahlia Leiden and the players, before them, and the coaches and parents too. So they have a lot to be proud of what they've done and hold their head high as the Hillers. Remarkable, remarkable win in a game that they're going to remember for a long time, especially off some great calls from Tom Nappy and some amazing play by some of the best softball players in the TVL and also Division II softball. So.
Well, the next, and Morgan, it was an absolute pleasure calling this game with you. Glad you joined us for the broadcast, and certainly congratulations to Westwood on an incredible season and an incredible run.
Yep.
And the Hopkinton Hillers moving on. They'll play the winner of tomorrow morning's game between Tewksbury and Bedford in the semifinals. Absolutely tremendous. What an incredible team.
And Tom, Westwood, I'll tell you,
season.
We'll be rooting for you guys. We'll wish you guys the best of the luck, and bring it home. Bring it home for the TVL, and we'll be rooting hard for you guys. What a great team, and we love this league no matter what.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, a lot of the girls around the TVL and the athletes on the guys' side as well, a lot of them are good friends, and they're rooting for each other.
There is, you'll see them at games too.
Across the
you'll
league.
see them supporting their TVL because you go into battle. Multiple sports, multiple games every year over the course of 4 years. That there's a certain level of respect, and both teams, when you play them in these this many big games together, there's a mutual respect. And Westwood, as they're walking towards the dugout, getting a nice clap from the Westwood parents and Hiller parents. Celebration of their remarkable season.
Absolutely. Westwood ends their incredible season with a record of 15-5, and the Hillers, they are now 20-3, as they have won the round of 32, the round of 16, and now the round of 8, and they are moving on to the Final Four. And we will certainly be there to cover the action on HCAM, and we will keep you up to date as to where and when that game will be. I'm hearing rumors that it could be Worcester State University, but stay locked into our website, hcam.tv, as well as our social media pages to find out where the Final Four game will be for Hiller softball as they get an incredible win over a very good opponent here tonight by a final of 12-2. That is going to wrap up our coverage for this evening. A big thank you to Denise Antaki for her incredible camera work. Morgan, as always, it was an absolute pleasure having you on the broadcast. And for Denise Antaki, Morgan Donahue, I'm Tom Nappy. The final score for the final time, the Hillers victorious in the round of 8 over Westwood, 12-2. And they are moving on to the Division II State Tournament Final Four. Have a great rest of your night, everybody, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care.